So there was a hurricane last week, and a lot of people were affected by it. We've been watching the news, and we can't help but see all of what's going on. And one of the things that we notice on the news is that all of the people look the same. Now, what do I mean about they all look the same? They all share one characteristic. They are they're privileged. Because they are privileged, I have been
Mute
questioning.
your radio. Mhm.
I've been questioning if or not there's a reason why this happened. So here's the joke. When you have a bunch of people who have a lot of privilege, they take everything for granted. They buy everything they need to isolate themselves from everyone else and create their own little privacy barrier. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that when you get to that point, you should have your own nation. Now, I'm saying that to say this. Last week, we got a chance to see history reversed. And when I say that, what I mean is we've been crying for 500 years. We've been asking for reparations. We've been asking for neutrality and just recognition. So now some people really need us
Mhm.
because they can't dig themselves out. So here's the question. What good is a jet ski when you live up on a mountain and there is no roads to get off that mountain? Well, it might help you in one case. The reason that I say it might help them in one case is because they were spared. The ancestors gave them 400 years of tears rather than 500 years of tears. So
Oh.
they got 1 week to think this thing through and to fix their minds because Hurricane Ike,
There's another one right behind. I was just gonna say there's another one right behind it.
Hurricane Ike is going to be like 600 years of tears. So if they can't figure it out, they better figure out how to get those jet skis to work on sand.
Well, it's sad. It's really sad. Just people's lives because
Yep.
so far it's 180 odd people missing. Well, died, and so many missing, hundreds missing. And even thinking about those children, there's this one woman saying how they had to crawl. She showed a little tiny space in the window that they had to crawl out of to get out. And I put myself in that position. I said, my God, I would be one of them drowned too because I can't swim. That's sad. But it's funny, but it's not, because it's also affecting a lot of people down in South Georgia. You know what I mean? And I mean people of color, there's a lot of them that is affected. And also in the Carolinas, there's a lot of Hispanic that storm affected, So it's when you look at it and you say, okay, y'all going through it. The ancestors are not, God is not sleeping and what have you. If that's the case, I'm not going to say it is, but if that's the case and it is retribution or punishment, then, yeah, but when you think of the lives, just like where they're having the wars and what have you, when I think of the lives, people's lives, especially the children, it's sad. It's really sad. But they figured out, look, they got immediate help, didn't they? Camilla came off her campaign trail so she could work with FEMA to
She
to
had
let them
to.
get aid and release. Yeah, because
She
she's a
had
vice
to. That's her
president. She's not
job.
president. Yeah, that's her job as a vice president. And I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying they're getting the help. They're working it out. The government is working it out for them. And like Biden said, we're not gonna leave y'all. We're gonna stick with y'all and work with y'all. So that's a good thing. Thank God. There are
Mama,
countries that
Okay.
were torn up and nobody to help them.
Mama asked.
So
Okay. What
thank
about
God for America.
what Trump said and what JD Walsh said? JD Vance. I can't think of that man. It's something about him. His whole face is
He's
just blacked
fake,
out in my mind.
fake.
Well,
What do you
okay.
say, Respecter? You have anything to say about that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. Now think about the names and when the hurricanes do happen each year. Now, for a long, long time, I had a suspicion that there's a driver. There are humans behind that eye. That eye is perfectly designed. There's a machine that the force is in the front of the machine, and there's a driver behind it, directing it where to go. It's not just some Mother Nature creation of something just cook up in the ocean and find its way to the south. It's more to it than that. But the people who are getting caught in it, been getting caught in it years and years and years. The ones who survive still remain hateful, full of racism, selfish. So it's going to continue until those hateful ones are not here no more. And hopefully the younger ones who living amongst the hateful ones will realize that no, I can't continue to be like daddy and mommy and those amongst me who was among me and showing all those wickedness towards people that did nothing wrong to them. But honestly speaking, the hurricane is designed by scientists and funded by billionaires. That's what's going on.
You know that Saudi Arabia said they have a machine that makes rain when it gets too hot. They have it programmed and it has these chemicals. Well, we've seen Saudi Arabia get inundated with rain. And one of the things I thought that was absolutely relatable to what you just said, the respecter, is that if you're so rich you have to create your rain, that means you are not just creating the rain for you, you are changing the entire planet. And when you start messing with the planet like that, with this type of weather voodoo, as I like to call it, you are really totally ignoring everybody else. To me, that is the beginning of World War III. So right now, what we're seeing is the ramp up, and it's gonna happen.
They're saying that the government they're manipulating the weather and what have you. It's something that's been said for a very long time, but it's just what is the purpose? You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out what is the purpose of them manipulating it.
Trying to be
Um,
God.
is it because of population control or what is it? Because each time we have a big hurricane or a big tropical storm, people die in the process. So is it because of population control or is it some other bigger picture that we're not really seeing? What is causing it or why would they want to do that?
A number
You
of
know?
reasons, many reasons why they do it. And they're trying to be God. And like you said, they're trying to control.
That's it right there. They want to be God. The white man has a God complex, and it's finally coming home to him. That's why so many of them sundown towns are no longer on the map.
And then again, do you think some of this weather eruption can be coming from the drilling, that the secret drilling that they're doing? Because there's a lot of drilling going on, in different countries,
East side,
especially Africa and the Caribbean, because they're looking for certain minerals, particular minerals or diamonds or gold or whatever it is they're digging for. But there's a lot of digging going on under the ocean also. And I think that's part of, or is it just something to divert our attention? You know, what is it? I'm curious to really know. Anyone that knows, or have an idea of why all of these, the weather change is going on. They're saying that it's because of the pollution and whatever, but I think it's more than that. What do you
Water is
think?
just
the planet can't exist without water. They can have all the oil they want, but without water or control of water, the planet will cease to exist.
and just like a gun range where they go to test the guns, there's also something that's designed to test the bombs and the missiles. So a lot of things that's going on is it could be from a missile or bombs. The
That's what I was thinking.
yeah, the
Is that
earthquake
could
and
be, yeah, yeah, it could be some of the eruption of these storms and hurricane. I mean tremors and what have you, because we've been hearing about more tremors, more frequent than we used to, and now it's like every week somewhere there's some earthquake somewhere. you know, um, Not just the Caribbean, but also certain parts in Europe and Africa. There have been sighting of earthquakes and I mean, not small voltage, but 5-point Richter scale. All of these. That's something dangerous, and it makes me wonder what's gonna happen to us. Is it man that's gonna destroy the world by war, or is it man destroying the world by discoveries and science? You know.
there's a change that's
Anyway,
coming. Definite
anyway.
change is coming, and man has been pretending to be God for a long period of time, and it's unfair that those who have the power of money and are in government, they allow scientists to do whatever scientists wants to do. They allow pharmaceutical companies and doctors and so on and so forth to do what they want to do because it's
Mm,
not affecting them. And all they do is listen and agree upon and said, okay, do it, do it, do it. The diseases are man made. Just about everything that's affecting people, affecting this world, it's man and woman behind it. It's not God doing it. It's not the devil. It's just man who are evil, woman who are evil, who trying to manipulate and control God's work. That's what I feel and believe.
mm, mm. It's sad though, it's really sad.
They don't
But
care about
Can we
babies. They
can we
don't care about
relate this to the people that are going through what they're going through in Conyers now with this gas plume, and they
yeah,
telling them
that
to stay
too.
in their
Yes,
houses?
yes, yes, yes. hmm
that's intentional.
I mean, these places supposed to be inspected, um, like 3, 4 times per year, right? Isn't that so, Acid? Um, and this is something that they detected the last storm, but they're saying that the reason why it happened was because the water was mixed with that chemical. Now, if you know this, right? This happened not even a year ago, right? This happened. When what's that woman storm called Daryl or whatever? Right? When that came, they said the water, some water, they had a fire then. That's like about 3, 4 months, 4, 5 months ago. They had a fire then because the water, because of the storm, the water got into the chemical. Now, wouldn't you make some type of protection so if something like that happens again, it doesn't affect the chemical?
But Queen, it's supposed to be monitored 24 hours of every day. Just like most swimming pools, gotta be monitored and checked and treated. That's a fact. They supposed to be a on duty person or persons to keep it the way it's supposed to be.
But even so, I'm talking about the government. Don't they have inspection? The government inspect these factories and
The
these
EPA,
companies.
The government
the
doesn't have in,
EPA in Georgia is supposed to issue the license, and if there's a consistent accidents, they're not supposed to issue that license. They're supposed to tell them, listen, you've had too many incidents. We don't
Mhm.
trust you. But here's the big problem. The problem we're skipping around, and I want to go right there to it. I hope everybody got on their seatbelt. Isn't it funny that all of that happened at one time? And the people who live there, I wonder how many of them knew in advance that they were buying property that close to a toxic site. Because if they bought that land without any knowledge of the previous problems, they
Mhm.
should be able to form a class action suit, and they should be able to
Yeah.
sue not just the people who own the place. They should be able to sue the state of Georgia, because if you give a license to a place that continuously has the same problems over and over, you're not monitoring it, and you probably are accepting some kind of a bribe in order. We go right back into integrity again. You accepting some kind of a bribe in order to make this big gigantic company stay open.
but
Mhm.
what they're gonna do is they're gonna say that you who purchased that land and signed all the documents should have done your own research. You should have done your own checking of that location. So
Well,
that
what
would be
would they
something
say?
hard to fight.
Yeah. What would they say about somebody who's a renter? Because I hear one of my neighbors complaining that she had problem breathing, and I guess she was on her porch the day before, the day when it happened, and she wasn't aware of what was going on. And she told me that she went to the doctor, and I forgot the name what they call it, but they say it's from her breathing that fume. Um, so it extended not just there in Conyers, but it part of DeKalb County had warning. It kept blowing my phone up every morning, warning, warning, dangerous air quality. So it didn't just affect people in that area, but it also affected people outside of the Conyers area also.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
having
Queen, you hitting in a very dangerous area, and you know you about to spark me up.
And you don't know because when you rent these apartments, you don't know, what's in the area. They always say that mine is on a burial ground. You never know. You're a renter, you're not owning the property, so therefore you don't normally research, all of that stuff. Most people, we don't research all of that before you move in. You just want to know that it's a nice area, nice apartment, well kept, and rent reasonable. You know what I mean?
And you know something
So
very strange that happened Wednesday, not Wednesday, Tuesday.
Mm.
I finished a job in Conyers,
Yeah.
and leaving that job, and the moment I got on I-20 West, my car started coughing. I had to, I had to pull over. I'm serious. I'm driving, normal and get on the highway. All of a sudden, I can't gassing and it's not moving. I had to pull over. So that thing made my car sick.
On the
Not
express.
just your car.
You're
Mm-mm.
joking or what?
No, he's serious. He's telling
Got
you
to be
the
joking.
effects of what this chemical in the air is doing. And that's why I said you sparking me up because right now, what I'm actually thinking about, I've said this 1,000 times, but I'm gonna say it 1,001 times. What is in the air is in the air all around the whole planet. So if it came out of there on Tuesday, probably on Wednesday, it was in California.
Traveling
Probably on
fast.
Thursday, it was in Hawaii. And then over the weekend, look, okay, let's be real. The air is around the whole planet. It's held down by gravity. The air cannot escape. We are breathing the air. That means every person on the planet is breathing this toxic gas.
Yes. Mm.
Until these people start being held accountable, and I'm talking about the EPA and the other types of environmental organizations who are supposed to monitor this stuff, until they're held accountable, they're going to continue to poison us all over the globe.
Well, I'm going to say this. Majority of us are not going to get any taste of it. And we're just going to pray for those who get a taste of it and hope that it stops. And those
Mm-hmm.
behind it gets prosecuted and locked away or leave this world permanently because it's a mess. It's unfair to those who are trying to live their life, take care of their family, go about their business, and have to deal with that type of situation. And it's constant, you know. And
Good.
the government do know about the agencies and the group of people who are doing these things, because these things not just happen by themselves. There are pills dropping that can cover miles and miles of problem for somebody. There are fumes being let out throughout this country, this world, that's designed to affect millions and millions of people intentionally. Stuff in food. See all those plugins that we're buying and putting in our sockets because it smells good, poisoning ourselves and don't know it.
Candles too. Can't
Yeah,
use them either.
the candles, the car fresheners, people don't realize what they're doing to themselves. Even though it was spoken in 2020 that mainly Johnson and Johnson and a couple of the companies was going to put out fragrances because they feel like everybody needs to take the vaccine, and those that didn't take the vaccine are going to end up getting the vaccine so one way or another by way of scent. So if you go into a lot of department stores, Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, you're gonna smell this powdery smell, and it's frustrating. Anytime I smell it, I just turn my nose the opposite direction and try to leave that area because I remember what I heard. They're
So how
evil
you know that it's the powder that is smelling like that and not
because I've
like,
heard they say they're gonna put it out there in the form of scent.
and you
So
smell in
if you
all the stores
if
that you go in or a
if you're
particular
going if you're going to the major stores, preferably first thing in the mornings, you're gonna smell it.
mm,
It's also in the forms of car freshener. I have a friend that anytime I go into his vehicle, that scent is there, and I told him about it, and he stopped using it. And he was
mm.
always
What's the
getting
scent?
some
What is
form of
the scent?
sinus
Tell
problem.
us. Tell the audience what is the scent? What's the fragrance?
If you know what
What is
powder
it?
smells like, it's a strong powdery
Talcum?
smell.
Smells
Powder,
like talcum?
powder,
Like talcum? Hmm.
powder that grown people used to use. Powder, not the baby powder, the strong powder that adults use. It smells like 3 times that powder,
Hmm.
and it comes in a spray, and It came in the powder too, and it's in it's fragrance that you plug into your socket at home,
Hmm.
and car freshness.
Okay. Because I like certain, but I use oil.
Think
I
about
use.
it. If you know somebody who's always coughing, ask them if they're using any kind of fragrance,
Hmm.
freshener. It's very simple, but it's damaging.
Uh, uh,
That's just my belief. I look back on what they said in 2020, because they were trying to force people to take the vaccines, and they said it. I'm gonna try to find that clip. That some way, somehow, you're gonna end up taking it one way or another without knowing it. So,
okay. Okay. Well, I'll be more mindful, I guess, when I go in the store and see if I can compare smells to different stores and see. But to be honest with you, I don't know what kind of
but and
smell to
honestly,
expect.
anything that hits your nose, wherever you are, anything that you walk into and it hits your nose,
Well,
might
that's
smell.
like years ago, right? When I go into when I used to party and I used to go in certain dance and whatever, I could tell when they're smoking coke because that my nose would itch and I could smell it. So is that similar to what you're saying?
It's stronger than marijuana scent,
It was
and
well, I'll be listening
marijuana
out.
scent. Marijuana is the only smoke that doesn't bother me. Only scent that doesn't bother me.
You
Any
ever
other
smell
thing?
that scent acid?
Well, I know what he's talking about, but I wear a mask everywhere I go. Anytime I get out of my car, I put a mask on because if I'm not in my house or I'm not in open air, I don't want to be in a building confined with all kind of odors, all kind of people coughing, all kind of stuff. Because I understand that the immune system never really heals, and when it finally gets to the point that it's had too much, then you're not going to be here. So I take care of my immune system.
Mm,
I don't go a lot of places simply because of that. And another thing that he's talking about that I have to really seriously admit, I used to work for a major grocery chain, and at night when they clean a store, the people who do the cleaning wear a toxic suit, toxic hazard suit, and the stuff that they would give us to supposedly just wash like the counters and stuff where we work, to clean the area where we work, to disinfect it, on there it has a skull and crossbones on the bottle, but they take it out of the big bottle that it comes in and they put it in a small spray bottle, so you don't know that it's toxic. You don't know that when you get it on your skin or you get it on your hands or wherever you get it, that it's going to be a problem for you later on, because that stuff will become systemic. When they
mm,
can test your blood and they can find it, that is why you don't need to be in certain type of positions. That is one of the main reasons why I found that it was time for me to come out of the public workplace, because you
mm,
can't protect yourself. You're in there with people who don't want to protect themselves, and quite frankly, most people are not going to take the time to understand everything they coming in contact with. And when the big C hit, I got hit and I had to understand what was going on. So at
yeah.
that point, I started to realize everything you're around is definitely attacking your immune system. So just like the respecter said, when they clean, it has a whole different smell. It's
Yeah,
artificial. You know it's dangerous. It makes your throat itch. It makes you want to cough. You feel stuffy. And then later, you don't know why you feel bad. Your
that's
body
like the
eating it up.
Fabulosa. That's like the Fabulosa. You know that cleaning
That's not
Right. I
good.
agent.
don't mess with, I don't use
Fabulosa.
any of that. I use baking soda, salt, white vinegar, and
Well, my
Castile soap.
building every
I
morning
use
they mop
lemon.
the floors with it. Every morning they mop the floors with it. We have this woman. She wiped down all the walls and elevators and what
That's
have you, and she mop the floor with it every morning. You go downstairs, go outside or go downstairs, and you smell it. The um, and I do remember one time, didn't they have a recall on that?
recently,
On
yes.
the Fabulosa, yeah.
Yeah, recently.
I thought so. I thought I had heard a recall on it, but like I said, that's what they use in my building here, and Um, my building is very nice and pretty and clean, and that's what they do every morning. They mop the floor out. She mop the floor early. She'd be here like 5 o'clock in the morning mopping the building. And that's what she uses. That's something though to think about. Those sweet smelling fragrance, those fragrance cleaners. We just have to, I guess, everything around us, we just have to be mindful. Pretty soon, I might have to start walking with one of those gloves on. You know, the gloves they used to wear years ago, acid. Yeah.
I
Them
got
ladies
those in
used to
my
walk
purse.
with their gloves. Yeah, they used to walk with their gloves on, and I guess we might have to go back to that because you don't know what you're touching. You know, you really don't. When you go out, you don't know what you're exposed to or what you're touching. So the mask is one, and I am wearing my mask. But anyway, remember now, folks, you all are tuned in to Reasoning Thursday on the Powerhouse, DA Powerhouse Radio with Lady D, Queen, the Respecter, and Mama Acid. We're gonna change the topic. We've been on this a while.
Hey,
How
Queen.
about the vice president debate? I'm sorry, the Respecter, you wanted to say something?
Now we're going to quickly say that as often as we wash our hands, I hope that
Mhm.
everybody is also cleaning inside of their nose. God,
Okay.
very, very
Oh,
vital to do that.
okay.
That's
Okay.
very
That's
important, especially with salt water. When you brush your teeth, that should be the
mhm.
last thing that you do is you after you gargle and you do all that and you spit, get a little bit of warm salt water, put it on a dish, inhale it, and blow your nose. Get
Yeah,
everything out.
yeah,
It's it's the world, it's the new world. The new world order, right?
yeah.
Wow, isn't that something? But on to the presidential debate, the vice presidential debate. What do you guys thought about it? They're saying that up to yesterday, Trump was on the media bragging and boasting how Vance won. Um, but I watched it, and a lot of the questions I thought he evaded. He have a way of evading the question, and sometimes he answer a question with a question. Did you guys see it, or what you think? Have you heard any buzz going around town? What do you all think about that?
The
I
respected,
said,
why don't you go first?
yeah, okay.
I watched it, and everybody that has some form of sense should know by now that protect what you call it. Sometimes I can't say certain words. A liar, a natural born liar,
Oh, I like that. That's
is the
that's really
most
good.
is the most is the most fluent
I was trying not to
speaker
go there.
there is. A natural born liar will speak without missing a beat. They have an answer quick and fast, but the answer 9 times out of 10 is a lie. It's false. And they are cool, calm, and collective. You can tell that Tim was nervous start out, which is natural because he's an honest man. So it seems. So it was a bad start for him, but he came back very strong. And I don't see why people saying that. Oh, I can't decide right now. They both 40. But the truth about it is, nobody is a winner in that stupidness that they do. The only winner will be on January 5th or 6th or thereafter. So people who say no, the Democrat, Republican, there were no winner in that.
What you say, Acid?
Okay, well, let me see how I can say this. Vance won't admit that Trump lost. Trump won't admit that Trump lost. Walt stood there and heard this man lie over and over and over, and never once, even though his mic was live for the whole debate, they never cut their mics off. He never
Yeah.
once said to him, that is a lie, or no, that is not true. He never even stopped him when he started saying, when he never even responded to the fact that Donald Trump lost the election, when this is common knowledge. He just
Yeah.
let that man stand there and repeat that same garbage over and over without correcting any of it. And it
Mm-hmm.
almost seems like some some sort of over rehearsed play where he just was told to only say this, or this, and he didn't want to say anything outside of that.
But Asa, did you
Well,
expect for him to? Did you expect for him to throw his his whom he's running along with as president under the bus?
I expected him to tell the truth.
Yeah, but see, he didn't lie and he didn't tell the truth. He didn't answer.
Yeah, he didn't answer that first question at all. He immediately took that first question and went into an attack on immigration.
Right.
But the moderator said it's clear that Donald Trump did not win. She corrected him. The moderator corrected Vance. When the moderator has to correct you, that other person standing there beside you, they should be able to say, that's right. He didn't say anything. That's one reason why I say Tim Walls was over rehearsed and under some sort of a spell because he didn't seem to be there.
I was going to say the same thing that Waltz did not perform.
yeah.
I heard most of it through listening through Queen's phone, and then I was able to
Mm-hmm.
get my internet and stuff up. And let me tell
Mm.
you something. Waltz was like, I would go with Donna with this one. I mean, like, was he cloned? I mean, like, he didn't
Ye-
he didn't say he didn't say anything that necessarily could have persuaded. He dodged questions. He didn't answer questions either. Now you know I'm rooting for Harris Waltz, no matter what anyone have to say at this point. But Waltz could have came out stronger. He
Yeah.
could have he could have shut down Vance in a lot of things that he did not. He was trying to be like, and he was trying to be like
Nice, nice
he was
boy,
like
good guy.
his friend because everything was like, oh yeah, I agree. Oh yeah, I
Mhm.
agree with
Yeah,
Van.
yeah,
I agree with
good
Van.
guy. He was playing the good guy role.
Trying
And
to
you know what? A
come.
lot of the media, excuse me, a lot of the media, they're saying that he had like things written down on the paper in front of him.
What
And
is
it's
happening?
like, yeah, it's like they're saying things he remembered or questions, like he was programmed, like we're saying.
Now
Like
when
you're
he
saying,
was
lady, like
he
he
was
was programmed.
Well,
No, he
listen,
was
So they were
writing down
talking
stuff.
about that all week, that he had notes on the paper in front of him, and he kept looking back at the paper in front of him,
what was
instead of attacking Vance when he said something out of the way. Yeah.
okay? I heard the respect is speaking in the background. What else did you say? Piggybacking off of what Queen's saying. The
What
respect.
he was doing, he was writing down what some of the things that Vance was saying.
Yeah.
He wasn't reading, he was jacking down. But the thing about him is he didn't learn nothing from Kamala.
No.
Kamala, at
No.
no
Mm-hmm.
point you saw Kamala looking down.
Mm-hmm.
She kept her eyes on Trump and the
Mm-hmm.
moderators, and she
Yeah.
kept a
Mm-hmm.
smile about herself. He was
Yeah.
nervous. He was too nervous.
You got you
Yeah, you could
on
sense
the
it.
head.
Yeah.
You hit it right there on the head. The respecter. He seemed
Yes. Yes,
like
we respect her. Yes.
he didn't want to say the wrong thing. He didn't want to step on any toes.
Yeah, instead of
Yeah.
saying, he said, he should have been a cock on stage that moment because every other stage he's a cock on the stage, but that stage he was not. He was a chicken.
He was a chicken. He was a real
Oh my God.
because Ashley said, "Oh God, oh God." I said, we rooted for him. We definitely rooting for him. But him and Kamala, come on, Kamala have to step up their game. And if you're looking through half of the media right now is saying that Vance won this.
Mm-hmm.
That
But
Yeah.
that's
Vance
but
won.
that doesn't matter.
It does. It does. It really doesn't matter, but it does matter.
Here's what all of us will agree on, Lady D. All of us in this country should agree on. Looking back, one day, January 6th, there's not one soul in this country that should be supporting that thing there. After that situation, there's so many people injured and died because of him.
Listen.
So many things people can point their finger at. The five innocent black boys who served 7+ years.
You're preaching to the choir, the respecter.
Yeah.
You're definitely preaching that to the required. Because if it was something that mattered, and if it was something that persons were taking into consideration, then it wouldn't then Trump wouldn't even be nominated as a Republican candidate. If that was so,
Absolutely.
Trump wouldn't be getting how much percentage of the votes right now. If that has been anything, so preaching to the choir is not is all of this sixth thing, January 6th, and how many police officers passed away. It's irrelevant to the voters at this point. It's
But you,
irrelevant to whom supports Donald Trump at this point.
but you know what wasn't relevant?
What?
When the FBI, without hesitation, when they locked up Bill Cosby
Listen.
on something that was years and years ago,
You're talking black and white, the respecter.
the FBI
I
refused to
was
do anything
let-
where Mr. Trump is concerned.
You
I
talking
was in a cab. Go, can I
go
go
ahead.
on, lady? I'm sorry. Yeah,
No, no.
I was in a lift. I was in a lift yesterday, and this young man and I was talking. And I heard him with the radio on, and they were talking about the debate, and not just that, but what Trump do and what Kamala does. Anyway, I listened to it for a while, listened to him getting all excited and what have you, and I turned to him and I said to him, "Hey, I detect a little accent. Where you from?" He said he's from Nigeria. I said, "Nigeria?" He said, "Yeah." I said, you seem like you're really interested in politics. What do you think about the election and what's coming up? And he said to me, "Oh, I'm voting for Trump." I said, "Trump? You vote for Trump?" He said, "Yeah, I voted last year for a Democrat, and I am a Democrat, but this year I'm voting for Trump." And I turned to him and, I started to explain to him, about the 2025
Project.
plan and all of this. Anyway, you know what he turned to me and said to me? He said, "Oh, Camilla promised all of these things she promised, and Congress, it still has to go to Congress, and they're gonna veto it because it's not realistic." And I looked at him and I said, "Now look at that." And he's a young guy. He couldn't be more than say 35, 37 the most. And I said, "Look at that." And he's an immigrant. You know what I mean? So I said, what are these people out there thinking? And,
We
how can we change their views and let them really see what is entailed for us later on?
It's not how can we change their views. It's how
Mm,
can the candidates
the
change
candidates,
their views
too.
and
Yes.
have the opportunity to change their views during these debates and stop swiping at Trump. What they need to do is stop talking about what happened 2000, 2000 and whatever. Okay? Stop talking about the insurrection on the 6th. Everybody know about that. Everybody know about all of these things. Get down to what Trump is doing, what his plans are, and come get down to what your plans, what the Democrats' plans are, what Kamala plans are. And whenever they throw things at Kamala at and pertaining in Biden, Kamala ought to say, "I'm not Biden.
Yeah.
Biden was the president. I'm the vice president." Okay.
And they
So
and they will eat her alive.
implement why they will eat her alive. She's being
They will say there you go. She's throwing the president under the bus.
who cares?
They
The
they
president,
would they would
who
chew.
cares? Who cares? The president is not looking to be the president again.
He made it. He made the wrong choice.
The president is not looking to be the president again after November. He's no longer the president. They cannot. There's no need to impeach him. We have less than 1 month left for Biden to be president. Well,
Mm.
he goes up to the 6th. He goes up to January 6th before they transfer power. But regardless of whatever, he's not running. We they have to at this point the Democrats have to throw whatever Kamala
Lady,
to
what
throw
you what you're saying would
on
have
the
been perfect if because Vance, everything Vance start to say, he says Kamala. And at that point, like you're saying, Tim should have said, but she's not the president.
exactly.
So I see what you're saying.
Exactly. Exactly what
Mm.
he should be saying. She's not the president. He's supposed they need to at this point. I understand they love Biden and Biden is this and Biden is that. But at this point, she has to separate herself. She have to start to move away from the entire Biden thing. Acid, what you think?
Well, I think one of the biggest problems is this is going to sound ugly, okay? I have to say it though. She's in a particular predicament because she's tied at the bed sheet to Israel. And he won't give up this whole let's fund Israel to kill the rest of the world. When that man started funding he doubled the funding after Barack Obama left. He hyped the funding above the Trump levels. Even Trump cut back on funding to Israel. I don't think Harris is really thinking this through on her own. I think she is taking the advice of some advisors who are telling her right now you have to either support Israel or you have to support Iran. Iran has the bomb. So does Israel. America gave the bomb to Israel. Iran built their own. America was mad. That's why they went to the United Nations and lied and said they've got these big steel tubes. At that point, they didn't. But after that, they said, okay, if that's what you want everybody to believe, then that's what we will go ahead and work on. It was like a pre announcement of a plan. And now we're sitting here watching all of the money that needs to be in America to pay reparations and to take care of all the needs of the American people domestically being sent out to countries around the world for war. Until one of these candidates stands away from war, I'm having I'm having issues supporting any of them. And I just want to say to everybody right now, this is Rosh Hashanah. I am Beta Israel. This is not a time for war. This is a time for atonement. Okay? Yom Kippur is in 7 days. And if we cannot atone as people for all of what we have seen happening around us and been involved in, how can any of us support any of these? Oh, God, I hate to say it, war hawks, because we already know Biden is a war hawk, and now we know that Harris is a war hawk. Someone said to me earlier today, when she got elected, the last time you seen her in a dress was when she went to the inauguration. She has not worn a dress since then. She has been in pants because she is wearing the pants in the government because Biden can't. That's very painful to hear. But also, it makes me think about the fact of who is she really representing? Really, who is she really representing? She represents the Justice Department and the Department of Defense. She doesn't care about the domestic lives that are being damaged. She shows up and what she talks about is how much money America needs to do this, this, and this. And if she would just
But
stop.
she sounds like she have empathy for the the underprivileged and want to help
We're gonna
the
talk
the
about
the
we're gonna talk about
the new business owner and small business and all of that. You don't believe what she's saying? Why is it not possible for that to
Nope, I don't
happen?
believe it.
I
Why is
understand.
it not possible for that to happen? I mean, I say give her a chance. That's what I say. I say give her a chance. We don't know what Trump is all about because we have experienced him. So give somebody else a chance. I say.
Queen, I understand what Mama Ass is saying, cause she almost made me cry just now.
All right.
Spiritually speaking, spiritually speaking, it would be, to vote for either one, 'cause they both got their wrongs. It would be a right thing not to do, but we gotta vote for somebody. And the reason why I say, Mama, I say you should vote anyway for Kamala, because you'll get to see if a woman can govern this world, this country. Prove to some man that woman can govern just as well as a man can, lead just as much as a man can. So
I
I say,
believe you.
vote
I'm
vote
gonna
for her
vote for her.
for that reason. Because
That's
there's a
that's
lot of
one of the
men.
reasons why
There's
I'll
a
vote
lot.
for her because it'll be a first, because it'll be a the first black woman to run for this position. And you know what? I have to correct myself because Shirley Chisholm was the first black woman,
I was gonna
and
say
we still have not given her her grace.
well,
Some people.
I would hope that during her inquest of becoming president, I'm hoping that she would seek some advice, and then we're gonna wrap that. Then we're gonna wrap the segment up. I think I'm hoping that she would seek some advice from Mia Motley, the Prime Minister of Barbados, as a woman Prime Minister that is making great and big strides for her country. So I'm definitely all for
She's not.
I'm definitely all for giving. What do you mean she's not? Why she's not?
She's listening to all her advisors, and you need to look at who her advisors are. I looked at who her advisors were, and I have to be honest with you and tell you almost every one of them uses the same bathroom.
Yeah, she got to stay within the circle, within the group.
Well,
And
listen,
they don't look like us. They're not us.
I don't even at this point. I don't even get it. I don't even care if it's a us. We are so bent on this us thing, this melanated thing, this melanated thing. That's why we can't even get nowhere. The point is that this lady look.
Nope, that's not what I meant. I meant people in the United States that are not a part of the 1%. The majority of her advisors are part of the 1%.
Mia Motley is doing great things for black
Lady,
women, and we
lady,
know that even where
Absolutely.
lady.
even wherever she's getting whatever advice she's getting, whoever is giving her advice, they giving her some darn good advice.
Yes, lady, that's true.
Okay,
But the thing about it is, we supposed to now more than ever look at that.
why? Why?
Why? Because forever we've been standing and just looking and agreeing with and going along with and being afraid of.
Listen, for let me tell you something.
She needs no. What you're saying is that she needs really and truly. She should step back and say, speak it out, and make it happen. She should be getting advices from more than Barack Obama as a black person and Michelle Obama.
That's right. More than just the 1%.
More
She
than just
needs to
Barack
talk
and
to
Michelle.
regular people.
She needs to talk to other persons and get their advice and look at some of the policies and procedures and some of the things that they are doing and possibly even implementing a lot of these things. Okay, so I'm all for giving her a chance and everything like that. Well, hell, it's either between her and Donald, and I'm really not necessarily going for on that route of Donald Trump, but I feel that Kamala needs to really, really on these debates, which I don't think there's going to be any more debate. I don't think there's going to be any more debate. But with all of um the what you call it, the ads and things that she is out there doing, she really needs to start to breaking it down. Do you want this, or this is what I have to offer? This is what Donald's offering. Break it down. As Queen says, she's speaking to someone in a car ride, lift ride, and they don't even know what Donald is saying. They're just saying, okay, whatever he's throwing out there, this is it. She needs to blueprint it. She needs to blueprint it and say what is the ups and
She she
what is the
she
down.
has a book that is inclusive of all the things that she has planned. I can post a copy of it to you and so we can read it next week. But I'm telling you, I've looked at it and it is a good plan.
It's a
She's got a good plan, but she's leaving out some stuff that is kind of important.
what I'm
And until I see certain things, I'm not going to really be moved for anything other than just to vote for her because she's a woman and she's black, maybe.
okay. If those are what a person is looking at alone, then I can understand why white chauvinist big men is looking at a white man to vote for. If that is it alone, we have to start addressing and looking at policies and procedures. What does these two individual really, really is laying on the table that is going to benefit us, the citizens, the people of the United States of America? This is this party thing that is tearing up everything in all of these countries. Jamaica, here in America, is because we're thinking of this green, we're thinking of this, we're thinking of this white against this black, we're thinking of this woman against this man. Come with the policies so that
Lady,
That's the
we
respect to that young man. Yeah.
can
lady,
together. Yes, the respect.
you are 1,000,000% on point. Remember, if you go back and watch last week, I said the same doggone thing.
this party thing, nothing's gonna change because they
And it's
keep coming promise us.
and it's this black and white. Because the white people are voting for Trump because he's white. The black people are
Mhm.
voting for Kamala because she's black.
But
Where
half of
Mhm.
the
is the
no,
policies and procedures that we're voting for? Asid's gonna come up with a book. How many are we are gonna pick up a book to come read about policies and
but
procedures?
no,
Lay it on the table.
she was on MSNBC today, and she's getting a lot of praise right now, like what she did today, of explaining in full detail, answering all the questions that I asked her, and everybody that they interviewed are pleased with how she explained herself today.
And this is why I'm saying, the respecter, all of these ads, all of these promotional things that they are doing, she needs to make this book verbal
She did.
and
She
not
told
just,
him where to get it.
you're talking about one show. You're talking
No,
about
no.
one television show, CBS. She needs to go on CNN. She needs to come on ABC. She needs to take a visit to Good Morning America that reaches all around the world. Who and who don't watch Good Morning America? She needs to go on every platform.
She
Yes, it's
did it.
gonna run
Only
her.
one she ain't been on so far is Fox.
Well, she needs to go there because that's where her hindrance is.
And that's
So she
true. She
needs to
needs to
go
go
there
there.
and she needs to face the music there
But
That's
we have
where
to
Trump people live in.
and show
That's
them,
that's
and
Trump people.
show them that she's not afraid to go there in the terror in the enemy's domain. She's not afraid to go there. Those are the things to win over the opposition. Those are the strategies that you have to use to win over the show. I'm never scared. I'm never scared. I'll go to you. That's what she need to point it out.
but you gotta remember too, lady. If
Yes.
you take spoiled milk and mix it with fresh milk, neither one's gonna be good. So we have to be careful. If you try and get Trump people over on her side, on our side, that might become a corruption, corrupting us in
Corrupting
more ways than one.
corrupting
So
who?
maybe they need to stay where they are. Support Trump. Keep supporting the evil. Maybe we don't
But
need
she
evil.
needs X amount of people in order to win the
No, they don't need those
presidency.
people.
So
She
she's
don't
gonna
need them.
need people from there also.
She don't need them.
Listen,
Telling you, she
I
don't need them.
but see she don't need them. I hope enough. I hope enough Democrats are going to stand up and speak. I mean, stand up and vote.
But
And
the Democrats are saying don't get comfortable yet because it's
how
still
you
a close race.
how you can
Even the Democrats are telling you that it's
how
a
you
close race. So
how you
don't get too comfortable.
how can you get comfortable? It's not even about even Democrats because even if we get even if we get a million votes over Donald Trump, if the electors are not convinced to vote for Kamala,
Yeah.
we're still doomed. So
But
if
that's
a million popular people vote, citizen votes like myself and yours,
Mhm.
and if the electors are not convinced
Mhm.
to lay their vote for Kamala. Remember, we went through this a couple of years ago with Hillary. Hillary got the popular
Yeah.
votes. How
Yeah,
many
she got the
people voted
popular
for
vote.
Trump?
Yeah.
But she still did not become president. So therefore, we can sit, but she has to convince the electors that that she is fit. Her policies and procedure is what the country needs. All right, and
but
that she's backing down from nobody. That's what
in,
she needs to convince them.
in order for her to get those votes, she would have to have at least $10 million more than Trump because everything is based on money. There's a report out that says that that's what Trump won because of $10 million cash, and the FBI is investigating all these years and still know nothing to convict. It's all about money. That's why they're collecting so much money.
Every day
Okay.
I get at least 10 requests from somebody pretending to be Chuck Schumer and all of them senators and pretending to be.
All right. All right, listen. We will debate on this again next week because
Yeah.
this is going to be an every it's coming like it's going to be a every week debate
Yeah, for the next month. For the
until
next month. Yeah.
so
Thanks to Mama Acid.
Mama,
Just right. Just blame me. I'll accept it.
all right. Um, just want to say hello to each and everyone. You know, I just dived right into there, and I thank you all for bearing with me today. I also want to say massive shouts go out to YouTube's radio DJ VJ Smiles, Ross Dougal. Want to say massive shouts to you all. Thank you all for bearing with us, especially with the radio playing in the background. I couldn't get it off for nothing where I was in my location. Victorious 89.1 FM. Want to say massive shouts to you all as well. Thank you all as well for your patience while I got back into the studio and was able to get that off. For Mama Acid, Queen, the respecter, you all held it down like a champ as always. You know, so me I gotta start take vacation and left you alone. I
Oh,
just
please. You
I gotta
better
make sure
stop.
I gotta make sure I just get
Hey, you left out something important. You left out something very important.
what?
Happy birthday, Dr. Rome.
Happy birthday, my grand.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
Happy
Happy birthday,
birthday.
Rome.
Happy birthday to
Day to ya.
we went out
Happy
Ha-
we went out
to
to
ya.
eat and it took longer than what we expected, and so I got back a little late, but thanks anyway. Now listen, I received this thing here that I sent to you all, and Acid, I think I got it to you too. I think just when I was leaving um to go to this event with my grandbaby. um okay, and there was oh boy, there was this um there was this pastor that got caught in the back seat with a 16-year-old boy. It just happened to do it. And this person sent it to me and he admitted to it. If something like that happened with um uh your pastor, what would you say? What would you do? Would you automatically leave a congregation because of it?
Wow, that's a good one. That is a good one because P. Diddy and the Church of Love have a 9-year-old on the list of people that were abused. So it seems like these preachers are being caught up every single day because yesterday a girl was doing an interview about her father being arrested for incest as well as rape of another member of their congregation. So I tend to leave these people who wear these shiny frocks to themselves, and I consider them exactly what they are: pimps. People interested in making other people pay.
Queen,
Hmm. You need a beating.
we understand what he needs, but if this is your church that you go to and you heard that your pastor was having intimate things with a 16-year-old in the back seat of a car and he admitted to it, would you continue? Would you forgive? Would you say he's of flesh, he's entitled to make mistakes? um
No, well, it's
what
up
would
the
you
church. The church would have to that he would have to be punished somehow, some way. Um, whether it him leave the church or him being punished in well, they usually they sit at the back of the church until the church feels fit for them to go back up in front. Um, it's something that I wouldn't like. I really wouldn't. And I have to say, going back there, I would have to know more about it. Is this something that he has done before? Is this, um, I don't know. I really don't. To be honest with you, I don't know what I
But
would do.
but once is not enough, Queenie.
I don't know.
The respecter. Before you ask any question, answer the respecter.
Well, I kind of had an experience with that a few years ago, actually in '07. No, further than that. We were told about this church on Scenic Highway with this great pastor, young pastor. Me and my family went to visit. First thing that caught my eyes made me say no. One of the usher, his breast was bigger than my wife's breast. I listened to the man preach. Yeah, he preached real good, but he's dedicating his sermon to the ladies to be aware of the man who may come in their face trying to date them and be with them, and that's how he's preaching. Anyway, we left and got home as a family. We talk about the church, music, and everything, and all the children said, "No, we don't want to go back." Why? And they started pointing out the same thing that we saw and heard. And 2 weeks later, it was on the news. That preacher was locked up because New York been looking for him. He's a child molester, homosexual, mess with boys.
So I don't have no feelings in my heart for pastors who say God called them to preach and teach and lead the people. I don't have no mercy for them who made those mistakes. They have seen enough mistakes by pastors over the years to say, okay, I can't allow myself to get caught up. Let me not shame myself or my family and let down God. So whatever driving them to still doing this, he's not going to be the last pastor,
Uh,
you know.
that's
So
it.
we have to stop being sorry for people like them who intention is false, wrong, evil, and wicked.
Punish them. Yes, they
And the
need
parents,
punishment.
the parents, the parents, the parents, like you've been saying many times, Lady G, Mama I said, Queen, the parents have to stop being so trustworthy of these pastors to leave their little boys and little girls in their care. They're doing the same thing with the entertainment world and they're doing it in the church. Trusting these people because they want some form of finance benefit.
Acid, you was getting ready to ask a question. Did you complete your statement there?
Yes, yes.
Acid, you were about to ask a question.
Well, I think more than anything, we all pretty much answered the same. So for me, I would just like to say that we've seen enough of this that we should now understand when we see the symptoms that the disease is present.
Well, for me, I understand that persons want to forgive, but I could not go back to that. Whether he's being punished, and after he's completed whatever punishment, just like you will look at someone being incarcerated and they have served their time or whatever and came out. I could not go back and look at that person, preach it. I could not be a member, whether he's been punished or not. I could not remain a member of that particular, of whatever church it is that continue to have that individual on a pulpit preaching to me. Because something such to me, something such as sexuality is not something that is changed overnight nor because of punishment. That takes a lot of therapy, or that is just what he wants and that is just what he want to do. And who may say that he won't do it again. Queen also said that she has to investigate or see if he's done that before. How are you going to know? He was caught this time. All of the other times he was never caught. And he was caught by the police officers. And you know what else? They made sure that they questioned him. He tried to lie at first, and then they said, well, don't lie. You know, people do it. It is what it is. They conned him. And then he says, okay, I'm going to tell the truth. Yes, I was performing oral sex on this 16-year-old individual. You see what I'm saying? So I can never face this pastor again on a pulpit.
Yeah, well, you know,
Known
I'm not saying I would chase him. That's why I even say him sitting in the back of the bench or something. But I'm thinking that you're talking about the church. If I would leave the church because of him,
no, no,
you know. But
yes,
I'm saying that,
I said that if he was to remain as the pastor of the church, would you continue to
well, that's something different. Nah, that's something different. You know, I misunderstood the statement. Yeah, that's something different.
yeah,
Because you wouldn't be able to trust him. I wouldn't be able to trust him, like,
I wouldn't want
knowing that.
him pray.
Yeah,
I couldn't listen to a word he said, and I wouldn't want him touching. I wouldn't trust him around children again
yeah.
because
Or anyone, really, for that matter,
yeah,
I mean, but there's a lot of pastors doing that stuff. A lot of them out there doing that. Not just children, but young adults. They lure them into the church and under the pretense of being on the altar or what have you. And, they end up giving it up easily to them. But a lot of that goes on in the church. The church is, they say it's one of the worst places. I mean, it's not lie. You have backbiting, you have all sort of things goes on in the church. Um, it's not the church. I go to church, so I go for God. And like I said, normally I try. If I don't feel, if my spirit don't take it while I'm there, I leave. You know, I usually leave, and I've left many churches. I've left. So
yeah.
like I said, pick sense out of nonsense.
I heard
Uh,
you all. I heard you all. I was able to catch a little bit part of when you all were talking in regards to the hurricane. I just wanted to. I didn't. I'm not sure if you all had gave a little advice to some of the listeners in regards to insurance.
no, we didn't go hit on insurance. Yeah, we did.
If you all have these flood situation in your home, and I'm sorry to bring us back there, but I just wanted to make this statement.
Mhm.
I'm encouraging a lot of persons whom have basements and things such as you may not be in a flood zone prone area or whatever it is, but I would encourage persons to get flood insurance
Absolutely.
regardless. And I was faced with this situation, and I'm speaking from experience. I was faced with this situation Friday during the storm. I don't know where water came into my basement, but my basement was flooded. Okay. And my insurance company is going to tell me it's an act of God.
Yes, act of
It is
God.
called, and it is called surface, and it's surface water. So they will not fix anything downstairs in my basement that was damaged. So I'm left here doing restoration,
Mhm.
doing I forget the name that they call it. I'm here doing everything, fans and wetbacks and drying out and everything on my own with no form of assistance from my insurance company, nor my warranty company. Then I was advised to call my warranty company. My warranty company on some things that I have said, it's an act of God.
Did you take pictures of it, D?
I took pictures of everything.
All right. Well, I heard on the
today I
news.
was
I
advised.
heard on the news that FEMA, they're giving Georgia homeowners who had damages. They're gonna give them money
I was
to
told that. I was told that as well. But then they have certain areas. Henry
uh,
County is one of the areas. DeKalb County is not one of the areas. Fulton County is not one of the areas. Conyers, Covington, none of those areas are one of the areas that they are assisting. I am going.
Isn't that strange?
I,
Isn't that something?
yeah, I am going to write to them
uh,
regardless and to see what can be done because it's a hefty, hefty price
yeah,
that one has to withstand when you're paying your insurance
and taxes.
and you can't get any form of assistance with fixing your basement area. All of my exercise equipment, everything was underwater. Okay.
Uh,
Furniture, my music system, everything was underwater. God saved my studio because I have that elevated up higher
mhm.
than everything else. So that my studio area was not affected. But
Thank you, Saint Rico.
everything else that I had on floor and everything is gone. And there's no form of reap. So I'm encouraging each and every homeowner in the state of Georgia, and not just Georgia,
Everywhere.
country. As simple as you think this flood insurance is not important, it is very important. Make sure if you don't have it now, you go and make an amendment to your insurance and get the flood insurance on your policy. Okay.
Especially the way these storms been going now.
We are
You
in
see all these
season.
storms.
We are in hurricane season, full effect.
Yeah. Mhm.
So it's you know, I'm just encouraging everyone. Don't be held with the bag like myself. Okay? Do not. And yeah, it's a serious, serious thing. So I just wanted to touch that because I wasn't sure if you all had touched that. And also check your clause if you have warranty companies such as Home Shield or any of those other warranty companies that normally will come out and fix your furnace if it's this or your AC or any water leaks or whatever. Check those check those contracts that you all are really, really signing because they have it way in the back in fine print. Because when you expect for your insurance to say, okay, it's an act of God, and you know what they use? They literally use that word. That statement is an act of God. Storm is an act of God. Okay? So when they make those statements, they're in your contract. Then they're going to give you section 14A. It states da 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 da. So it's unbelievable. So make sure wherever you all are,
Read the fine prints too.
sometimes you don't have time to sit there and read every single line, especially, you understand? So, but one thing for sure, just get that flood insurance. Just get this act of God word out, this statement, sentence out, with the flood insurance. Just get flood insurance. And that
You
covers
know it.
you that no matter where this water come from, you are covered.
In Michigan, you can't get it. Um, you have to have a certain type of insurance. I went through the same thing a few years ago. And if you live where the ground freezes and you have a basement, you have to pay for a separate type of insurance. And it basically says if water comes through your foundation, we don't cover it. It destroyed my furnace, my washer, my dryer, my water heater, and thousands of dollars of personal belongings, and none of it was covered by FEMA or the insurance company. At this point, I personally can say to you, Lady D, I feel your pain because it cost me roughly $20,000 to replace just the
Yeah.
furnace, the water heater, to have stuff taken out, to have to go buy two shop vacs, to have to buy fans because the fans were $150 a piece, and they have to run. They have to run 24 hours a day for weeks, and
And,
every day you got to vacuum up that water.
and
So
you know,
all I can say is everything Lady D is telling you, I have already been there, and believe me, I
and you
don't want anybody else to have to go through it because what she's talking about is real life.
after you know what the hurtful thing is? The hurtful thing is I just did a complete renovation
Mm-hmm.
cement in June.
Yeah.
New floors, new bathroom, new everything, a complete exercise.
Mm-hmm.
I did a complete renovation, thousands of dollars. And now I have to spend thousands of dollars to fix it back. It's madness. Make sure that you get that flood insurance like tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Call your insurance company. Add it on because we're in hurricane season and you don't know what is going to happen next. So that is what I can say. That's my Christmas going wherever I wanted to go because I have to just redo everything. It is madness. Walls has to be cut out, floors has to be dug back up. It's madness. Okay, so spare yourselves.
Don't even mention having to pay to get somebody to take all that stuff away because the city would tell you that you got to have a special container and you have to have a
Okay,
special person come load it, and they have to pay a fee in order to drop it off at a certain place because they can't take it to the regular dump.
you know,
That also $1,000 at least
I have to
for
get
just the dumpster.
I have to get another dumpster. I mean, this is madness. I'm sitting like in what are you talking about? It's an act of God. So I'm like, God, we
Yeah, I cussed them too when they said it to me. I
it's
did.
mad.
I cussed them.
So people just get your insurance. Don't sleep on it. Please. Tomorrow morning, wake up, call your insurance companies and get flood insurance. Whether you live where water is or you don't live where water is. Once it's considered to be surface water, you're done for. You're done for. Okay? You're done for. So,
Hey, can we move to something else that is really, really hot?
yes.
What
Okay,
about
but
this one?
I just want to say one thing to the people of Mauritius, to the people of Mauritius, from all of us here at Reasoning Thursday, we want to say to you, welcome back to your own island. The Chagos Island was finally given back to the people of Mauritius today, and we want to just say, the people of Mauritius, we are glad you finally getting your home back, and we hope that the people in the Andaman Islands are finally able to get someplace so that they don't have to live on a boat and keep going from country to country getting refused a place to live. So the UK ceded the Chagos Island sovereignty to Mauritius. Big up Chagos Island.
Okay. Also, for those whom heard about the strike that was going to be happening for the guys that works at the mall,
Hmm.
all of
The dock workers.
the dock workers that's going on strike. It's real out there. Let me tell you, it's real out there.
They canceled the strike. They called the strike. They said we're gonna wait. You want 90 days? We'll negotiate for 90 days. But at the end of 90 days, we have to have a real solution because we have not had a raise and we want a raise.
Well, honey, I'm glad they did that because Sam's is empty, Kroger's is empty. These people went in there and there's not a toilet paper, a paper towel. There's
Oh,
not,
go to Aldi's. They got it. The Aldi's is good.
and it's so great that really for me, it's not an issue because I have those things way back from almost three. You know, I have my own. I definitely have my emergency supplies. And that is something that we've been preaching for years upon years over here is that people, you need to have your emergency supplies. You need to go get some canned stuff. You need to go get some bag rice, put it in, seal it in the container, like seal it.
Jar.
You
Put it in glass jars, canning jars. They last
yeah,
forever.
you need to make sure that you have emergency supplies. Don't wait till they say, "Oh, this," and everybody run to the stores and everything is finished. There's no more milk. There no more this. Get your emergency supply. Have a piece of paper. Write down some of the things where you have that are expiring and rotate these things. Rotate them constantly. Every 6 months to a year. You go through your emergency supply, purge what you need to purge, replace what you need to replace. So that when situations such as this come, you all are not running to the store like a chicken with your head cut off. And when you go there, nothing is there. When I went in there, I was like, wow, I didn't need anything. I just went there for some simple items. We went to buy a little birthday cake and a couple of stuff for my grandbaby. But when you go in there, I mean, the place is empty, and people is standing. They're standing
Up
up
here too.
with their hands on their jars, like, oh my God, what we didn't get here in time.
Also, gas. Don't forget to mention
Let
gas.
me know because Miss Bertha and I was going there tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely no toilet paper, no
You
paper towel.
serious?
I mean, it's bare. When I say it's bare, I mean even the commercial toilet papers and stuff they took, it's gone. I mean, it is bare
Mm.
in these stores.
Go to Aldi's. They have it.
I did not go to all these, but trust me, in Georgia, when they hear even weather, they clear out the place. So
Mhm.
I all I'm going to advise people is always have your own emergency supply stuff. If you need, maybe next week I could go over some stuff with you all. I we do this every year, sometimes twice a year. We are always encouraging you all to have your emergency supply. Get 2 canna for the Jamaicans, get 2, 3, 4 canna bully beef, get some sardine. Look at the date. Some of them don't doesn't expire till 2026, 2027. When 2025 come around, purge it. Take out the old stuff, use them. Put in some new stuff. Some states don't allow you to store water. But Georgia is one of them that doesn't have a problem. Go buy a barrel. Go get a barrel, wash it good, the blue barrel them. Wash it good. Fill it up with some water and keep the chlorine tablet. That when you need to clean the water, you can clean it. Cover it and store it somewhere in your yard. I mean, you have to do things to save yourselves. All right, because we don't know what's happen. We don't know what can take place and what can happen. Also, have some little matches inside of there. Put some paper plates, some paper cup, because you have all this food and you have nothing to eat it on. You get these little stuff. Go into Walmart. Go into all of these little places. They have the things that you can use to warm your items to help you cook on the little stoves and the little this. People, it's just an act of survival.
Yeah.
It's
Canned sterno. It's like $1.25 at the dollar store. Buy 5 or 6 of them.
put them stuff in the box. Rotate them. Always rotate these items. You understand? Get some oatmeal. Put it in a bag, a jar, as Mama Acid says, the mason jars. Seal them properly. Write the dates of everything that you're sealing and what you're doing, so that way you know. Get them on a piece of paper as well, so you can, when you look at the paper, it's easier that way. That when you look at the paper, you can say, okay, this jar, this need to replace. And you go into your emergency supply, you take it out, and if you have an extra space in your basement, in your room, somewhere else, take that spot and put your emergency supplies in it. Okay. I get, they have water battery. They have water.
Lady D, one other thing.
Mhm.
I went to a class that said do not store your pantry items in the basement because it will become inaccessible. It's best to store them on the top floor of your house in
Okay.
the coolest area that you can. Designate a particular closet and make sure that you only put that stuff in there.
Well, if that is the case, put it up and put it low, because most of the time they would say in the midst of a hurricane or whatever, they say to go to the low part of it. Find, yes, go wherever, even bombs and all this. Go where windows are not. They have all of these different things. Whatever floats your bubble. If you need to have something on each floor, then have that. Find other ways besides just battery flashlight. I sent Mama Acid one of these water flashlights, and I have,
Yes, I love it. I love
and,
it.
and that was like 3 years ago I got them. And the water flashlight, flashlight people, that works off of water. So because these batteries and a lot of things may not work,
It's not just a flashlight, it is a whole lamp.
it's a
It
lamp.
will light up the whole room.
Also go and get generators if you don't have it. And a key to some of these generators, try to look generators that has solar, so that even if it's a little bit of sun that you can get when you're out of gas. Because we have to start thinking, we have to really start thinking. These solar things are very, very good as well. Okay, so that's just some insights. That's just some things that I felt that maybe I should throw out there to
Don't forget the crank phone charger
of
and the
crank
weather radio.
crank weather radio, where you just turn it. They sell them at even Kroger's. They sell them all of the stores except for like Family Dollars and stuff, where you just turn it. You just turn the lever and you get power on that radio. Okay, don't rely on batteries, because when you use the battery and the battery dead, what you are gonna do? What you are gonna do when there's no battery? But the crank radio, you turn it and you hear all of the weather, you hear
Oh,
what's
yeah.
going on, all of these things.
Mine even has the solar on the top of it too, the little solar panel, so you can set it in the sun. But if you want to put batteries in it, I have green batteries, rechargeable batteries,
Mhm.
and a window charger where you set the window charger in the window and then you plug it into the charger and put the batteries in there, and the solar will charge your batteries.
Yeah. So these are just a couple of little survival tips. Go get some charcoal. I mean, store up a couple of wood, not close to
Gas.
some wood, not close
Hmm.
to your home, but go get some charcoal, and store it where it doesn't get wet. Because sometimes if you don't have gas, if you don't have electricity, and you want to cook, you can also use your charcoal like you're barbecuing. You can put your pot and make your rice and peas and all of them things up on top of the grill as well. So, just all about survival, folks. So, and what I went through over this weekend, it's rough. Survival. And if I didn't have a lot of what I have, trust me, it's all about survival. So you all need to just take precautions, and don't wait till they say, "Oh, it's gonna be a hurricane that is coming," and then the store is everyone jam up in the store and done everything. Have extra box of toilet paper, extra box of that you don't touch it. If the toilet paper finish inside of your house, don't go in an emergency, go take it out. Just go to the store, go buy your toilet paper, and just keep in your mind emergency. have cash, have some emergency cash on hand. If you want dig a hole in your yard or in your wall or wherever you want to put it, have some emergency. People, just protect yourselves. I have a quick thing here as well that I wanted to drop real quick before I leave. It's about a 3 minute thing here, and I'm thinking that it's important. I send it as well out to you because I've received it from like 6 different persons, and I really really think that is something for us to listen to. Here we go.
Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, and I want to do a quick update about a document that got passed by the United Nations this weekend called the Pact of the Future document. It's two parts, one on science and technology and one about the youth and future generations. It is quite egregious, and it was done by a procedure called the silence procedure, which makes it a pact. And if no one objected, it is automatically adopted and put into the record as being completely adopted. This is the World Health Organization's runaround, or end around. Since they were not able to get the World Health Organization treaty passed, they decided to take it to the General Assembly. And it is even more egregious than what the World Health Organization was wanting to get passed. Let me just read you something really quickly about what is inside of this pact that is now being accepted by 193 nations around the world and equally open-armed accepted by our current administration. Everyone, it says that this is the power structure of fully digital and maximized for the control of the masses. Everyone will be expected to have a biometric digital ID that marks them not just as citizens of an individual country, but as a global citizen. So anytime you hear global citizen or anytime you hear sustainability, think that this is an egregious thing that's happening at the level of the World Health Organization and the United Nations. Anyone that has a dissonant opinion will be labeled as misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation and memory hold. Perpetrators for unapproved information will be fact-checked and punished by the system, which will be operated and enforced by artificial intelligence. Punishments will include being locked out of one's bank account, being unable to make certain purchases, unable to get on an airplane, on a subway, drive on public roads. This is the future, according to the world's self-appointed overlords at the United Nations. These are unelected bureaucrats that are making decisions about our country, our sovereignty around the world. Nothing could be more important at this point in time than to get prepared. Have water, food, digital access, flashlights, a way to communicate with family and friends. Now is really the time to get involved and get prepared because this is what's coming. Our Congress is sitting on its hands. There was a press conference on the 17th about this, and no further action has been taken. So it's up to us to mobilize and to go forward, particularly with your local sheriffs, to get your constitutional sheriffs to say, this isn't going to be allowed in my county. Thank you very much. Take action. We've been talking about the onset of one world order, one world government, one world religion, one world money for a long time. Well, it's no longer coming. It's here.
And I think we've been talking about that for quite
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Especially about that national identity number in Jamaica.
in Jamaica, the NIDS. Okay, so it's something that we really, really, really need to. And look at that. I was just talking about the same water and the same making sure that you have water and emergency supplies, as well as look for those flashlights that run off of water, and all of these things. I mean, and I didn't even remember that that part was in her statement there. But what was more standout to me was the identification situation and stuff, which brought me to the NIDS and why I totally object to the NIDS being passed in Jamaica and stuff like that. But listen, we've got so much more to talk about. So much more
Mhm.
to talk about. It is 9:59. We're gonna have to get off of the line. Hold on. Caller, we only have 2 minutes left. How you doing?
I mean, man, I mean,
Oh,
Darespecta.
Spec, you got. Oh, okay. Spec got disconnected. Big up, Spec. The Respecter. I'm sorry, the Respecter. Yeah, but we only have 2 minutes left. We're gonna end the program. Before we go, the Respecter, you want to say something to the listening audience?
Yes, thanks again. Just keep supporting us. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend, from the member.
All right, Mama Acid.
I hope that everybody will remember that we each have an individual thought and an individual voice, and it matters. Remember, you are loved more than you will ever know. Remember, come back next Thursday because we're going to definitely talk about the problem with the vote of no confidence.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Queen, go ahead, Queen.
Night night, everyone. It was a pleasure as usual being here and sharing our thoughts and ideas with you guys and information around the world. Keep tuning in. Remember every Thursday from 8 o'clock till 10 o'clock. We reason and we reason to reason. No one is perfect, so you bring your ideas and I bring mine. Remember, press that thumb up button, that like button, share with your friends, your neighbors. Arrivederci. Love, love, love one another. Come on now. Love is
And
the key.
subscribe.
Then subscribe. See you next week. Peace out.
Definitely, definitely, man. I want to tell you all, um, uh, it's always a pleasure. Each and every Thursday, vibing with my brother and my sisters, and you all, the listeners, also my brothers and sisters, each and every week. As Queen Mama Acid, the respecter says, definitely go over to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and definitely so you can get notified when our talk programs are on. A birdie pinched me and said that Let's Scribe should be back on next week. So blessings
Okay.
to Tonya and the crew. So each and every Wednesday, Let's Scribe from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And you know, right here, Reasoning Thursdays, each and every Thursdays. If you're missing a little bit, you're missing too much. Lots of information. Share, 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 and tell a friend and a friend and a family member about this fantabulous program that is full of information and no topic is off limit. If you would like to submit a reasoning topic, then definitely send it over to DA Powerhouse Radio at gmail.com. That's DA Powerhouse Radio at gmail.com. Also, be sure to listen to me, Lady D, with the best in music and entertainment and news and views and all the joke of the day. Did you know about it? What you know about it? All of that right here each and every Saturdays from 12 p.m. up until 4 o'clock. And let me tell you something, Lady D not take back the time. Trust me, no program tonight is like Lady D show up on a Saturday afternoon. So make sure that you join me right over here. All righty. Want to say massive shouts go out to You Choose Radio. Once again, blessings to you all and thanks for continuing to carry Reasoning Thursdays each and every Thursdays. Big up yourself, DJ VJ Smiles and Ross Dugal. Big up yourself. Victorious 89.1 FM. Massive shouts to Dr. J and the crew over there. To all of the listeners, we love you all. We love you all. We love you all. And thank you for joining us. Blessings upon blessings.
Happy birthday again, Rome.
Happy birthday to all who's celebrating a birthday, and we definitely have to say happy birthday to you, Queen.
Thank you.
Tomorrow is the
Thank
Queen's
you.
birthday. All right. So we want to say happy birthday to you, Queen. We just want to
Thank you.
blessings upon blessings upon blessings. All righty, and just many, many more, and hoping that you definitely full joy your birthday. I know that I don't play these stuff, but I'm just gonna play a quick snippet just for you.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah,
real
yeah.
quick.
Life, life,
Thank
life.
you.
Celebrate
My
life,
sister,
celebrate
happy
life.
birthday. One more year, Button Queen. Big up your
Telling
sister.
you.
Happy birthday. Happy
Oh,
birthday.
thank you, God.
Yeah, happy birthday, yeah, my friend. Yeah, one more year, bundle. Yeah,
That's it. I've got it. You know, we don't want them to strike the video because this video was full of information. So, my sister, happy birthday to you. Love you to the
Thank
back
you, baby.
for always supporting the Powerhouse Radio. And yeah, you know, I'm going to do it up for you Saturday. All
Yeah.
right. Do it up for you Saturday. So, blessings upon blessings.
Happy
Love a lot.
Love
birthday.
you guys.
Ciao. Y'all have a safe, blessed, and wonderful, wonderful night. All right. Good night.
Good
Bless,
night.
bless.